Hey guys, we're back with another coffee break. Today, we're going to be talking with a friend about her experiences with mainstream coffee. Amanda, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. So I worked at Starbucks for 6 years. College student right now. Just relaxing.
Nice. Okay. So, let's just get straight into it. Because, well, actually, Kevin, dude,
We got to talk about
I
coffee.
almost always forget to talk about it. Well, that's because it's so boring. We talk about
Well, today it's different. I don't even
Today it
have
is
coffee
different.
today.
Oh my god. So different in
know,
a
big
bad way.
letdown.
That's too bad. Anyway, so Amanda, every time we start off these podcasts, we try to have a cup of coffee usually with it, and we like to talk about what cup we're drinking that day. But because we're both boring and we haven't invested in getting new beans and stuff yet, we just keep getting the same. It's the same cup of coffee pretty much every single time.
You're gonna make me cry.
So why don't you actually instead tell us about your favorite cup of coffee, Amanda?
My favorite coffee? Okay, this is gonna sound really nerdy. I actually collect coffee beans everywhere I travel.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's that deep. Let's see, my favorite cup of coffee has to be like a small business roaster down here in Corpus Christi, Texas. They just roast it in the coffee shop and stuff, but the way that they do their espresso in their drinks is they cold brew it instead of using an espresso. It's pretty good. At home coffee though, I use French press. I like to drink the light roast and add cream. That's about it.
No sugar?
No sugar.
Okay, all right. So light roast with the French press. That's nice. It's actually very different from myself. I like a medium to dark roast. In the mornings, I drink a drip brew, and then most of the time in the evenings I'll have a cappuccino. That I'll use it. I'll use it.
Rolling.
Mhm.
He finally got me to switch to drip. I was using Keurig before, and
How do you feel
man,
about
it makes a
Keurig,
difference.
Amanda?
I have a Keurig, but I don't use K-cups. I use like the reusable one so I can
The
grind my
reusable
own
one, yeah.
beans. Yeah. I think it's a good alternative to drip. It has good timing. My concern would be how dry those beans are inside the K-cups. That's just me being a snobby about that.
No, I
They're
think that's
good, though.
fair. I think that's totally fair. I hate K-cups.
Brock just completely hates it. Yeah, he had to get me to switch.
I despise them. It's every time I
I'm proud
have,
of you, Kevin.
actually it's funny because this weekend I'm going to my uncle's house, and it's unfortunate because he has a K-cup machine.
So you're forced to use it.
Yeah, you can dress it up pretty nice to make it bearable, but man, I hate K-cups so much. And I'm not
That's
looking.
privilege. That's privilege right there.
Oh,
And
man.
you want to talk about privilege? You know what I do when I travel? I'm serious. Like, you can ask Jill about this. I bring a French press.
Oh, I believe it. No, I do something similar.
Okay.
A lot of times when I go traveling, especially like out of state, I'll bring. Now I know Kevin doesn't like this, but I like it a lot. Have you ever tried the instant espresso from Cafe Bustelo?
No.
Okay. Well,
Wait, hold on. What are her thoughts on Cafe Bustelo? How do you feel about that
I
type of
don't
coffee?
know what that is.
I was about to say I don't think she knows what it is.
Oh, okay.
I like Cafe Bustelo. Kevin doesn't, but also Kevin has been on K-cups the entire time, so we don't really value his opinion.
I do know what.
Just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding. But I'll bring cafe, like a jar of Cafe Instant Espresso Bustelo, and I'll just pack it in my suitcase, and that's what I'll use for my morning cup of coffee because I don't want to take the risk of either not having a coffee machine wherever I go or having Keurig.
don't know how I feel about instant coffee. It's a very mixed for me. I've had it before and it's decent. It just doesn't taste like
It's
like
hit
a
or miss.
warm cup of coffee. Like,
It's hit or
just not the
miss,
same
yeah.
thing.
It's definitely hit or
Yeah.
miss. The Cafe Bustelo has been enjoyable enough for me for instant. Obviously, I would always rather have freshly brewed, but for an instant coffee, and because it's espresso, it has a bit more oomph to it compared to like normal instant coffee. It basically gets it to that point where it's actually like strong enough that I like really strong coffee. I'm very much into strong coffee. But actually, it's funny because I want to get more into lighter roasts, and I think I need to experiment more with them. And maybe you can actually tell me how to go about doing that, because I've had difficulty in the past experimenting with light roasts. But that'll be a conversation for a little bit later. I actually want to talk more about your experience at with the mainstream coffee shop, Starbucks. So, Amanda, can you tell us a little bit about the day-to-day there and how each day starts and each day ends?
Yeah, for sure. So I was actually an opener there. My store opened at 4:30 and would close at 10:30 at night. So we'd get there, like clean up the store, make a bunch of like the backups, like whipped creams, stuff like that, and set up the bar. So make sure the espresso machines were clean and we had all of our syrups and such full. But yeah, you would just do that, and then we had a busy part of the day, which was later in the morning with, you know, the 9 to 5 people going to work, or school kids going to school, which would be our busiest part. And then it kind of like just be steady throughout the day. I feel like though, unfortunately with Starbucks, you lost a lot of the coffee house. Like you want to walk into a coffee shop and feel warm and welcome, and like somewhere you can relax. I feel like Starbucks is very like just get up and go kind of feeling nowadays.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I fully agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
But continue,
Definitely
please.
can feel it working there. No, I'm sorry. But at the end of the night, kind of like there's nobody there anymore. When I first started, it was like my junior year in high school, and there would still be people there. It still had kind of like that feeling, but I feel like as the years have gone by, like nobody wants to go there anymore for like that coffee house feel.
I think there's just better places to go to get that coffee house, like warm feeling.
That's true. This is very true.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I'm sure when Starbucks first, got its, when it first started up, I'm sure it tried to capture that coffee house feel. But I agree with you. I feel like Starbucks right now serves the purpose of a quick, coffee, quote unquote. I personally am not a big fan of Starbucks. I don't know how Kevin feels, but I remember the last time I actually went to Starbucks. Okay, actually, it's funny enough. I just brought up my uncle's place. The last time I went to Starbucks was when I was visiting my uncle, and we didn't want to drink the Keurig cup, so we went to Starbucks, and I ordered something, and I didn't know what it was. It was
What was it?
I think it was like a Frappuccino, or
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
accept
They
your
have
apology.
some good stuff there though. There is a couple things I think that are actually like worth getting there.
I feel like you have to know what you're ordering. If you get what they have advertised, it's cheap and bad quality. Okay, I'm gonna throw it down for
She's gonna
y'all.
hook it up. She's gonna hook it up.
If you order a Frappuccino, they use a instant coffee base, and you only get 2 tiny teaspoons of it. So that's not even like 12 milligrams of caffeine.
I couldn't taste the coffee. No, it was straight.
Right.
It was a milkshake. I was drinking a
Yeah,
milkshake.
they had a cream-based one then.
Yeah, it was.
But
it was
if you get
terrible.
awful, yeah, they're awful. If you get the grande, which is like the medium, there, it's your entire day's worth of sugar right there.
Yeah, that's what it tasted like. Yep.
Yep.
I couldn't finish it. I drank 2
bad.
sips and I threw it away.
You probably paid out the ass for it too.
Yeah, it was like $5, something like that. $5-6.
Yeah.
That's
But-
a cheap one.
Yeah, I think I got a small. I think.
Holy shit.
And yeah, it was. It just kind of reaffirmed my feelings about Starbucks, but yeah, no, I'm sure you're right, Kevin. I'm sure there are things at Starbucks that are decent quality.
I personally, I really like. I mean, I guess like this kind of falls under the same thing as like the green tea, like matcha latte they do. I really like that. I'm
I like
also
it
a sucker
too.
for green tea.
They
There you
have
go.
a lot of sugar in their matcha. That's my only complaint about their matcha, but it's good. It has small caffeine. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of their drinks are really sugary as well. But anyway, enough about my horror stories of getting frappuccinos. So
It's gonna give me nightmares again.
So you said you have a kind of a rush hour in the mornings, and then you have a steady pace of customers throughout the day. Is there a nighttime rush at all, or is it mainly just that morning rush?
No, it's just that morning rush. So they call it like their peak time, which they'll do like thousands of dollars in transactions within 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. But in the evening, no, it's really, really slow generally. They might have like because my location was behind a high school, so if it was like football season, they might have like a teeny tiny pop because of people going to like a sports event or something. But at other ones that I had worked out, they just did not. There's nothing going on. They just clean and close.
Okay, I gotcha. Huh. All right. Well, that's a good, I guess, synopsis of the day to day. What were your like responsibilities like while you were working there?
Okay, so I was a barista for 4 years and then a shift supervisor for 2. So as a barista, you get to work different positions, or you are responsible for each position. So like either you're taking orders in the drive-through, you're creating or making the drinks. They called it creating there, but you're putting together the coffee.
Some
You're
shit.
putting-
Okay.
Yeah, dude, it's for real. It's bad. You're making it on the hot bar or the cold bar, so you can imagine like your hot drinks versus your frappuccinos or your iced teas, or you're taking
Okay.
stuff at the cash registers. Those were the barista position. Shift supervisor, same thing, except for you got to do breaks, you got to run all that kind of stuff, and then if one of the positions get behind, that's your new spot. Like you're in charge of that spot now.
Okay, yeah, that
yeah.
sounds very familiar. I used to, for those that don't know, I don't know if I've ever brought this up on a previous episode, but I used to work at Papa John's. That was my
Papa J's.
Yep, that was my first job, and we had a very similar layout in terms of our responsibilities. You got the general position name. We were teammate, and you were responsible for to know how to do every role, pretty much. Whether it be assembling the pizzas, being cashier, slicing the pizzas and taking them out of the oven, prep, all that stuff. So
I feel like this job shaped you, Roland. Like you this is like who you are. You know, you're who you are today because of Papa J's, man.
I'm a pizza boy. Yeah, I honestly that job actually did introduce me to a lot of things, and I feel I feel like everyone should have some kind of retail facing / fast food job experience at some point in their lives, because I feel like it does help shape some ideas around the world that you might have.
It's very eye-opening for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically learn people are assholes.
You learn a couple of things actually. It's not all bad. Most of the customer experiences. Funny enough, I didn't have any terrible stories about at Papa John's, even though I was a cashier for most of that time, and I dealt with a lot of customers. I was there for about 1.5 years, I think.
Well, you're a blessed child then.
Yeah, it was a decent part of town, I guess, but I had one bad experience on a phone. We talk about that a little bit later, but Kevin, you had some experience, a very limited experience, right?
Yeah, I worked at Payway for a summer. For anybody that doesn't know what Payway is, it's a little Asian restaurant, kind of like it's like a more upscale version of Panda Express. And then I worked at Shake Shack, the burger place for like 2 days, and then I quit. And then I never worked a retail or fast food job again. Fuck all of that.
It's funny. Well, how did Payway treat you?
You know, honestly, not bad. I was a cashier, and it was pretty chill. And whatever food people ordered that they didn't pick up, I would get a chance at. So it's pretty solid.
Yep, same thing happened at Papa John's. Yeah.
Yep.
That's so funny. Yeah, basically. But it was up to the manager. So I actually at one point.
If they wanted it.
No. It was my manager was actually really cool, but at one point he was concerned that someone was putting in orders that no one actually ordered.
Oh yeah.
Because we had like a lot of carryouts that were never coming to get picked up. So at one point, and also our numbers were going down, like our stats. And he was like, all right, so until our stats go back up, until you guys pick it up, I'm throwing out all of the carryouts that don't get picked up. I'm just going to throw them in the trash. And he did that.
It's so wasteful, it hurts my feelings.
I know.
But it worked because our stats went back up because people were mad. So
honestly, low-key, that idea was smart, though. If somebody actually was doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who might have been doing that.
It sounds like it was you, Roland.
All I'm saying is that I left a week later. No, I was kidding. No. All right, so now going back to Starbucks.
Starbucks, bro.
I'm curious on the back end processes around Starbucks. So like, what is the sourcing like for Starbucks beans? Do they roast anything on site? Is it all integrated within Starbucks? Like, you get shipments of beans from like headquarters or something like that, or a other facility. How's that work?
So well, I can say Starbucks does not do their employees the best. They do 100% their sources. Like, they're all small farms. Like so they all come from different places. They all have their small farms that Starbucks will buy from instead of like them owning their own farms. Our shipments do come from like factories and all that kind of stuff, warehouses. That is where we receive them. They do like small batches of coffee. They call them like their single origin coffees. The reserve stores generally will have them where they have like seasonal mom and pop farms. They'll buy crops from, like coffee bean crops from, and roast them at the factory and send them out. So they'll be a little bit more expensive, but they have more flavor to them because they're so small. But they do generally just outsource for their beans. They have like their people they go to, but it is mainly just like the smaller farms. Yeah.
Do they ever source around locally for a franchise, or is it all just from the same farms, universally?
I wouldn't put it past them to do it locally, because whenever they do like new locations and stuff in tropical places, like they have Japan stores or like the Hawaii stores, they do have like a farm in Hawaii. With the Hawaii stores, they try to bring in that culture to like the new stores that they have. They'll reuse older buildings or get locals to help them inspire the store by, and try to locally buy like their artwork pieces and stuff inside the store.
That's cool.
So I would not put it past them to buy local beans.
Okay, that's actually surprising. I thought Starbucks was fully like a fully vertically integrated company like McDonald's, where they kind of own the entire process. So it's it's very interesting that they actually source from these different farms. I didn't know that. That's really surprising. Now, did the beans come whole or did they come pre-ground?
Okay, so
that's concerning.
Let's throw this back to so the coffee bean plant is a cherry. So you grow these cherry plants, and they're not like your maraschino cherries or your dark red cherries that you would get at the store. They're coffee cherries. And the bean is the seed that's inside of it. So they will buy the cherries by bulk or whatever it's called properly, and then roast it at the Starbucks factory. Like they'll open them up and roast them in the different ways they want it.
Okay, and then but that's at the factory. That's like the distribution facility, right? So how does it reach your? How does that reach your local store or your local franchise?
They just distribute it to different warehouses and stuff, and then we would order from the warehouses. I actually used to do the orders for my stores and stuff too. So you could just put in how many coffees you need. You would have to pay attention to your transaction numbers and like to know how many you needed for the next few days, and you just get it from the warehouse. So like they're not exactly like super fresh, but they're not like been chilling in the warehouse for a few months. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's not bad. So is that like so does that mean you get actually the franchises receive them whole bean?
Correct.
That's good. Okay, good to hear.
Yeah. So whole bean. So we get different coffees for different things. So we would get like these espresso bags. They'd come in, I think they're like 10-pound bags. They would come in, and you would get like your dark roast, your light roast, and your Pike Place, the medium roast that we would always have on tap fresh. And then you would get your espresso bean and your cold brew bean separately in each different bag, and you would grind them in store for what you needed. The espresso beans were automatically ground by the espresso machines though, because we don't have we have the automatic espresso machines and not the manual.
Oh, okay, the ones that like automatically tamp and grind and everything.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
That's cool.
How do you like those? How do you like those machines?
I wish we had manual ones. They were so they just released a bunch of like a second series they're trying to push through each Starbucks store. But the ones I had like the original Mistrena's was the name brand of them, the espresso machine. And you would literally just press a button and the espresso would, like come out. They would break all the time too. They're like $20,000 that would break all the time.
Jesus.
Are you guys in charge of fixing them at all, or they had like somebody come out and they did break?
They had their own position within corporate to have him come around the stores and like fix it in different areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the I'm just out of curiosity, what was the most sold coffee in your store? Like what was the most like popular drink to buy?
Either a white mocha or a caramel macchiato, and I don't know if it's because that's just what people hear so often and they order it, or if they genuinely think it tasted good.
Macchiato.
Yeah. They just wanted it for the word.
Yeah.
And then I would sit there and explain what it was when they didn't like the taste of it, and they're like, well, shouldn't it just be sweet? No, I'm sorry.
Jeez. That's man. Okay. Yeah. So I'm curious. Do you go back to Starbucks at this point? Do you go to Starbucks?
Okay. So here's the whole funny story of me working at Starbucks.
Yeah.
I didn't like coffee when I first started working at Starbucks. I never went to Starbucks, started working there. And now that I quit, I haven't gone back since because I make my own coffee or go to like local cafes.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely did get me into coffee and gave me that experience. But no, I do not go back to Starbucks because I've had better.
Okay, that's kind of the answer I was expecting, if I'm being honest. So,
like coffee evolution right there.
Yeah. I feel like Starbucks is a gateway for a lot of people. Some people just stay at that point, and then some people move past it. And I think that's a good thing. So so moving to the next point, I'm actually really curious to hear what is the worst experience that you had having to, I mean, not necessarily because it's Starbucks, but just working this retail / fast food position. what's the worst person you had to deal with?
Oh my god. Okay. So most of my stories are gonna come from Starbucks because I've worked there for so long, and when you go to Starbucks, because it's Starbucks, you expect like higher quality, you expect that high name brand, like you want to stick your nose up in the air and brag about it on your Instagram because you had Starbucks, right? I could give you stories anywhere from creepy old men to parents trying to break my window to drinks being thrown at me.
Jeez.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I think definitely one of the worst ones though is like I had to sit there and it was a disgruntled gentleman and he did not like his drink. I had to sit there and explain to him. So he continued to keep yelling at me, and I was like, well, sir, at this point I can't do anything. And he started yelling at me, turned to the lady next to him, started screaming at her. I had to like eventually kick him out of the store. But the worst thing that he did to me was he spat at me.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's awful there. I could give you so many stories.
So wait,
I don't know.
this guy who spit at you.
Yeah.
I take it. Did anything happen legally, or did you pursue anything, or did you just leave it?
You're not allowed to at that company.
What?
Yeah, I actually got in trouble for kicking him out. I almost got fired.
Holy wow, what the fuck?
Yeah. So I was a barista at the time, and I pulled out my own phone and called the cops. I was like, I'm done with this. Get out of my store.
Wild. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a pretty bad experience. Yeesh. Okay. What else do you have on deck?
Let's see. I guess any other Starbucks partner could relate. Any like holiday launches is what we're called, like when the winter time comes and you're getting ready for Christmas and all those things. They launch their fancy drinks and a fancy set of like the retail cups. You know what I'm talking about, like the tumblers.
Yeah.
We will literally have a line out the front door, out the drive-through that will go on for hours whenever it drops at 4 a.m.
That's so
I've
crazy.
had women try to break down my doors because Starbucks is about natural light, open, all the happy ecosystem stuff. So my store had worked at one wall was completely windows, and so was the front door is all glass. And she broke the door trying to get in early to get the cups.
What the
Was she a Karen? Tell us about this lady.
Yeah, no, she's your typical Karen, you know, got like the blonde streaks in her hair, middle-aged white woman.
Jeez. Man, this Starbucks sounding.
Like, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Starbucks is sounding more and more like a cult.
Yeah.
It's a cult. Oh my god, I could tell. Oh, it is a cult. We have like Facebook pages for partners and stuff that have stories full. But anyway, what bothered me the most is like you would think that people would sit there and look at her like, why did she just break this door to get some cups? Like
They're with her.
Here. No, they're with her. It's a mom coming in, bro.
They're chipping at the glass.
Bad.
Yeah,
Yes.
come on. Yeah, that's ugh, that's gross.
Oh yeah, it was awful.
That's so wild. Tell me a little bit about the people you may have been working with at the time. Like, did you enjoy working with some of the people, or your teammates? Is there any part of this experience that you enjoyed, or was it just all kind of blah?
Coffee.
The coffee. Okay, that's fair.
That's what I enjoyed whenever I went through like the Coffee Master program and stuff, because I'm a big old nerd. Once I find something I like, I want to learn a lot about it. So going through that program and learning about like what coffee is, each coffee bean, I could tell you like different notes and how to do a proper coffee tasting for coffee. That was fantastic to me. But working there, it was full of high school kids and Karens and creepy old men. So, no, not enjoyable experience.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got the coffee, master, coffee master. You call it? Is that what it was?
Yeah. That's
Coffee
what it's
master.
called.
Okay, that's neat. And you said that was a 6-month program to hone your knowledge and skills about coffee. That's pretty neat, actually. I think that's cool that they offer that for people who actually want to take it more seriously. I didn't even know about that.
They
So if
don't offer. They did.
Oh, they don't offer it anymore?
No,
wow,
they're too
that's
focused
sad.
on sales. That's what I'm saying. They're like way too focused on sales now.
That is sad. That's actually extremely disappointing.
Yeah.
Man. Okay.
That just shows like how it becomes just more and more mainstream that they take something like that away.
Starbucks, you changed, man.
They did. They really did.
So, my retail experiences were definitely more mild. The worst thing I had happen was over the phone, pretty much. Some asshole decided to. He called up the store, checking on his order. I was explaining to him that his delivery was on his way or something, and then he just started yelling at me and saying he's gonna get me fired. And then my manager took over, and then that was that. But one of the funniest, actually, the weirdest things I guess happened. We found out that one of our assistant managers at the time, he worked like the night shift, often closed, and one night that I wasn't working, he closed early. You're not allowed to close early, pretty much at any retail shop. That's a huge no-no.
Yeah.
So he closed early, and that caught the eye of corporate. So corporate launched an investigation, and then they found out that he was smoking weed and potentially doing other drugs on each shift, and then potentially dealing drugs out the back.
At the Papa J's, no.
Sounds like Starbucks.
Yeah.
Was there a drive-through at your location? Like, was he
No.
hooking it up through the window?
No, there's just a back door, and they also found out, it kind of made sense because he was definitely on some shit every single time, every night, because his eyes would always be glazed over, and he was also extremely his mood swings were crazy. Sometimes he was really chill, and then sometimes he would just pop off for no reason over the smallest thing. So he got fired, obviously, but it was pretty funny just to go from him being there, and then the next day I just hear about all this shit that they found out about him. And I was like, oh wow, okay, well, I guess he's gone.
This guy sounds iconic, dealing out the Papa J's back door, man.
But honestly, so one of the things that I was definitely lucky about experiencing in retail, I didn't have to deal with too much bullshit. As Amanda was saying, I didn't have to go through any of that. No one threw anything at me. Actually, I was getting tipped as a cashier, which was hilarious. I don't tip cashiers. Sorry, I just don't.
I think most people don't.
Yeah.
We're too poor for that. Sorry.
Yeah. So I was getting tipped as a cashier, and I actually really liked the people I was working with. They were all super cool for the most part, except the weird drugged up guy. But Kevin, what about you? I mean, do you have any weird experiences at Payway?
The only experience that I really remember, because I also didn't have too many bad experiences for the most part, and it was in a nicer area, so I think that kind of helped. But the only weird experience I had was there was a mom that came in with her 2 kids, and keep in mind I'm 17 at this point, or 18 maybe. I was still a baby, and this mom was trying to recruit me for this really weird modeling position. She asked me it was at her house or something. It was very strange. Just very weird. I think she was trying to kidnap me or something.
Yeah.
I think I would yeah, I think it could have very well been something like that. And I remember just being really weirded out, and I was like, yeah, you know what? No thanks, I'm good.
I'm more concerned for the kids. If she was doing that to you, are those actually her kids then?
Her kids didn't. I'm gonna be honest. Her kids didn't look like her. I don't know what that means, but
That's scary, man.
Did her kids have leashes?
They look taken care of.
I just imagine her selling this to Kevin, just like, yeah, my basement is basically a studio. It just doesn't have running water yet.
We're working on it. But there was that, and then at Shake Shack, like I said, I worked there for like 2 days, and I basically got like lied to. I thought I was gonna work as a cashier there, and then they wanted me to flip burgers, and fuck that. So I left after 2 days.
Yeah. Actually, one question I have is, did they ever ask you, Amanda, or force you to clean a bathroom while you were there?
Oh my god. Yeah, actually. So they had a position for that. It's called customer support.
What?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Of course
so you would go and keep the area the baristas were working at clean. You would restock their stuff. You would check the cafe, take out the trashes, and you'd have to go clean the bathrooms. And
How bad were the bathrooms?
We kept them pretty clean. Like, they were pretty decent. It was the closer's job, really, to deep clean and go scrub the toilet. So not my problem.
Nice.
One of the reasons why I preferred opening, for sure. But no, you definitely would see some, because we kept clear trash bags, so you would definitely see some, like, insulin tins shit in there. It's terrifying, but yeah. I've had to clean a bathroom a couple of times.
See, I think that's wild to me, especially when the bathroom's fucking disgusting. And I one time outright just, they asked me to clean the bathroom one time, and I walked in there and it was nasty. Like, someone did not.
Okay, I have a question though. Was it like a single star bathroom, like you'd open up and it's like one toilet, or are there multiple stalls?
One toilet. There's just one room.
Oh, okay, yeah. Same. Okay, same.
I was like, no, I'm not cleaning the bathroom. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then I'm like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
So
Fire me, pussy. Fuck off.
So they got someone else to do it, but I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. Sorry. I'll clean a bathroom if it's like not too bad. I don't mind that much. But if there's any biohazards in that bathroom at the time of cleaning, I'm not fucking with that. Sorry.
I have a story from another barista that actually got corporate, like went to corporate because it was so bad. Speaking of biohazard, you want to?
Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
what happened?
Yeah, let's hear it.
When you work at a location, you have sister locations that are like the locations closer to you. I said that word a lot. He had worked there originally as a manager, but transferred to mine. So what had happened there, I guess, a hobo went and took a dump in the back of the building, kind of like where the dumpster trash can area is, like right outside the door. And the store manager at the time had asked him to clean it up instead of calling like a biohazard team. And so the store manager got fired for that, and he definitely did not clean it up.
I thought you meant he tried to ask the hobo to clean
Yeah.
it up. I was really confused.
Took a dump, and the employee had to go get it.
He was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna need you to clean that up." That's fucked up. Asking one of your employees to clean up an actual human pile of shit outside the door, that's wild.
Yep.
I'm not surprised that guy got fired for that.
I'm glad he got fired. And this is why there's a revolution happening right now in retail for this exact kind of thing. That's why there's a labor shortage going on. That's why my Wendy's down the street has a permanent hiring sign for the last 6 months to a year. These people are everyone that works retail like that has been getting taken advantage of for so long. Ugh.
Yeah, now they got the stimmies. They're good to go.
I'm happy, man. It's been a long time coming. Hopefully pay raises across the board actually, get cemented in, and just keeps going from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can tell you, the amount I got paid at Starbucks, not worth it.
It's
100%.
not. It's never
At
worth
all.
it. It's never worth. I mean, I consider myself lucky because I'm not gonna lie. I will say my experience at Papa John's probably was worth it because I didn't have to deal with any of the stuff that the horror stories that you just told us. That and I was lucky for that. And I attribute that mostly to my manager. My manager was a really, really good dude. But man, if I had to deal with half the stuff that you probably had to deal with,
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it at all. Not worth it at all. The best thing I got out of the Papa John's experience for me was learning how to make a pizza. That's pretty cool, but that's definitely not worth $8.50 an hour or however much I was getting paid. Definitely not worth it.
How much do Starbucks employees make if you're?
I guess how much do they start off at?
Yeah.
State by state, or I guess city by city, depending on like that city's minimum wage. They went by Texas's minimum wage, which is like $10.75, so or $10.25, something like that. So that's what baristas would start at, and then because you're a glorious manager, you would get a whole $2 raise to be a shift supervisor, and you'd start at like $12. And then, of course, because you're a store manager, you would make 6 figures a year.
Was that the next, or was that like the next position
Yeah.
up from? Are you serious?
I'm so serious. They have a temporary position called ASM, which is like the assistant store manager, but that only lasts 8 months, and you only get paid like $40,000, which is still way more than a shift supervisor. But yeah, that's basically the next step up from $12 to 6 figures.
Wow. Okay.
If you want to talk about pay inequality.
Yeah. Jeez.
But these Starbucks are you can own a Starbucks, right? Like it's a franchise business.
No,
No.
there are no franchises. There's
Oh, okay.
Oh, seriously? I thought I've been saying franchise this entire episode. Why don't you correct me?
I feel bad interrupting you. No franchises. There's I forget what they're called, but they're not corporate stores, which are the ones owned by like airports or Target. But they don't get the same rules, regulations, and quality product as corporate.
That's interesting.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Like Papa John's is a franchise business. Anyone can own a Papa John's if they want. Same thing with
Roland, we should go into that. We should own a Papa John's.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thank
Silence for me.
Appreciate the invite.
Okay.
I'd rather start my own cafe. Thank you very much.
Oh man. That's funny.
Anyway, so Amanda, appreciate you telling us all about those experiences. But I know Kevin has a question for you before we call it a day.
Oh yeah. Are you ready for this?
I'm concerned.
If you had to pick a favorite dinosaur, what would it be?
The pterodactyls, they can fly, and they're huge, like ginormous.
Yeah, those things are massive, right? Those fuckers are huge.
Hold
That
on.
would be my answer.
We need to see exactly how big they are now.
Their
That's-
wingspan is like it's crazy.
It's like the size of a house, bro.
Well, that's what. See, Kevin thought that. What was it? What do you
the
like?
Velociraptor.
Yeah, he thought velociraptors were actually huge, like in the movies.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In reality, they're the size of a chicken. So
Yeah.
let's see if the pterodactyl shares that.
Let me see. I got you right here.
She got her dino facts up. Let's go.
I can pull this up. Let's see.
All right. I got
10
it.
meters high?
I see it. Wait, you said 10
Yeah.
meters high?
Yes. Dimensions in meters on the thing.
Where are you seeing that? I need to know.
I googled a picture.
Okay, because I'm seeing a wingspan. I'm seeing a wingspan of 1 meter.
That's small. That can't be right.
No, 6 meters is their wingspan. I'm looking at it.
I'm looking on Wikipedia, so I don't know where you're
One
looking.
of you guys is wrong here,
So,
clearly.
You don't happen to be looking at a picture of the Jurassic Park movie, right?
Did you spell it right?
Yes, I spelled it
Oh,
right. Pterodactylus, okay, that's the actual name. Its members are commonly known as pterodactyls. All right, it says here, Pterodactylus is known from over 30 fossil specimens, and though most belong to juveniles, many preserve complete skeletons. Pterodactylus antiquus was a relatively small pterosaur with an estimated adult wingspan of about 1 meter, 3 feet, 5 inches for those that are living in Freedom Land. Based on the only known adult specimen, which is represented by an isolated skull. So, you're like...
Maybe I'm...
So it sounds like they're giant. I refuse to believe these are all small. Yeah.
I linked it to him.
Yeah, fake news.
Let me take a look.
You can't just say velociraptors are small and then pterodactyls are small.
Yeah, no, they're as high as a giraffe and their wingspan is 6 meters. I was a dinosaur kid. Fight me.
Dimensions.com. I don't know if I trust Dimensions.com.
Dimensions or Wiki?
Have you looked at like the pictures on Google? You see, like their beak can like just. Let me just put a human in my mouth looking at this thing.
All right, fine. We'll go with your description. Okay, we'll say we'll pretend that they have a wingspan of 20 feet, I guess. All right. Anyway. Thanks again, Amanda. I really do appreciate you sharing your experiences with us. It's very enlightening. Gives us a little bit more insight on the behind-the-scenes Starbucks experience and just retail in general. It really gives some real eye-openers for those who haven't worked in retail at how much people have been getting fucked over these last few years. So. Yeah, hopefully now whoever might be listening can support the pay raise and the new wages for these retail employees, because it's been a long time coming. Anyway, thanks again, Amanda. Nice to talk to you again. And thanks for anyone listening. We hope you will join us on our next coffee break. Have a good one.